In the parched core of an abandoned ranch in the Chihuahua plains, where the sun scorched the ground and dreams faded like brittle weeds, lived Don Mateo, a man with weathered hands and a heart toughened by time. At 62, Mateo had endured losses no one should bear. His wife, Elena, passed during a childbirth that yielded no living heir. His youth, devoured by battles with unyielding soil, and his optimism buried beneath decades of solitude. Yet life, in its capricious cruelty, was poised to deliver an unexpected turn. That evening, the town's rough tavern echoed with coarse laughter and the clink of coins. Mateo, seldom seen in such places, was persuaded by nearby ranchers for a card game. Not one for gambling, he was swayed by ennui and a few sips of tequila to take a seat. Across from him, a sly-eyed outsider known as the Jackal commanded the table. The air thickened with smoke and strain, and when the cards were dealt, Mateo held an unbeatable hand, a full house. The Jackal, short on coin to match the wager, offered something that hushed the room. "My niece, Ana," he declared. "I win, you lose everything. You win, she's yours." The crowd froze. Mateo scowled, incredulous. A girl staked in a bet. But tequila dulled his senses, and the bitterness of his losses spurred him to agree. The cards fell, and the Jackal, with a crooked grin, left the tavern without a backward glance. In the flickering shadows, a 16-year-old girl emerged, her face bronzed by the sun, her eyes brimming with dread. Ana won in a game. The next morning, Mateo awoke with a headache heavier than his remorse. Outside his ranch, under a merciless sun, sat Ana on a battered suitcase, a tattered sack at her feet. Her eyes held no tears, only a resignation that pierced the soul. Mateo, still reeling, was at a loss. He'd never had children, and now this stranger, a girl not his own, was thrust into his life by fate. "What am I to do with you?" he muttered, more to himself than her. Ana's gaze met his, her voice a faint murmur. "I've got no one else, send me away, and I'm nowhere bound." Her words struck Mateo like a blade. He thought of Elena, her gentle smile, her knack for finding light in the bleakest moments. She'd have known the way forward. But Mateo, a fractured man, felt only his own inadequacy. Yet something in Ana's eyes, a glimmer of resilience, stirred him to decide. "Stay," he said gruffly, "but you'll work. No room for idlers here." Mateo's ranch was a husk of his old dreams. The land was barren, livestock scarce, the barn half-caved. Ana, without a word of complaint, labored beside him. At first, they barely spoke. She cleared sparse weeds, mucked the stables, while he watched from afar, questioning his choice. But Ana possessed a strength Mateo hadn't anticipated. Her hands, though slight, were deft, her mind sharp. One day, as they patched a broken fence, she pointed to a corner of the ranch. "There's water there," she said. "I feel it in the soil." Mateo laughed, skeptical. "No water here. I've tried everything." But Ana persisted, her certainty swaying him. They dug together day after blistering day. When clear water finally gushed forth, Mateo was speechless. For the first time in years, he felt a flicker of hope. Ana, with a shy smile, said, "My father taught me to hear the earth before it all fell apart." That night, over a modest meal of beans and flatbread, Mateo asked about her past. Ana spoke softly, as if the memories might wound her. Her mother died young, her father sank into drink, and the Jackal, her uncle, treated her as a burden, dragging her from town to town, using her to barter favors or coin. The tavern bet wasn't the first time she'd been traded. Mateo felt a rage he thought long dead, but more than that, a crushing guilt. He'd been part of that wager. "You're not a thing," he told her, voice breaking. "No one will treat you that way again, not while you're here." Ana didn't reply, but her eyes shone with something new, trust. From that day, their bond shifted. The ranch began to change. With the newfound water, they planted maize and beans. Ana suggested raising hens, and soon the yard clucked with life. Mateo, who'd forgotten how to smile, found himself chuckling at Ana's tales of climbing trees for fruit or her dream to read fluently. He, barely able to write his name, taught her what little he knew using an old book Elena left behind. But challenges lingered. The town, ever eager for gossip, whispered, "What's that old man doing with a young girl?" They sneered. "Nothing good comes from a bet like that." The words stung Mateo, though he feigned indifference. Ana, unfazed, shrugged. "Let them talk. The earth doesn't lie, and we know the truth." One day, a figure appeared at the ranch, the Jackal, with his same twisted smirk. "I'm here for my niece," he said. "The bet was a mistake. She's mine." Mateo's blood ran cold. Ana, nearby, dropped her shovel, her vibrant eyes now clouded with fear. "She's not yours," Mateo said, stepping forward. "She's no one's. She's free." The Jackal's laugh was icy. "Free on this dead ranch. Hand her over, old man, or you'll regret it." The threat hung heavy, but Mateo stood firm. For the first time in years, he had something worth fighting for, not just the ranch, but Ana, the girl who'd brought light to his faded world. That night, sleepless, Mateo made a choice. At dawn, he took Ana to the town's small courthouse, where a weary lawyer heard their tale. With his meager savings, Mateo secured Ana's legal freedom, ensuring no one, not the jackal nor anyone else, could claim her. Handing her the papers, he said, "These are yours, your freedom, keep them always." Ana wept for the first time since arriving, not from sorrow but from something deeper, something Mateo couldn't name. "Why do this?" she asked. "You didn't have to help me, I'm nothing to you." His heart broke and mended in the same breath. "Because you reminded me what it is to live," he said. "Because Elena would have wanted this. Because you're more than a bet, Ana. You're a miracle." Months passed and the ranch thrived. Maize grew tall, hens filled the yard with eggs, and neighbors, once skeptical, came to visit, drawn by the life now radiating from the place. Ana learned to read fluently, often reading aloud to Mateo under the oak Elena had cherished. The jackal never returned, and though his shadow lingered, Ana was no longer the frightened girl from the tavern. She was strong, radiant, free. One evening, as the sunset painted the sky crimson, Ana took Mateo's hand. "Thank you," she said, "for giving me a home, a family." Mateo, eyes misty, squeezed her hand. "No, little one," he replied, "you gave me mine." And so, on a ranch once barren, something greater than the land itself took root. A love beyond blood, a kindness that turned solitude into hope, and a lesson that would echo forever. Even in the driest places, humanity can bloom.